See, I realized that years ago when a guy gave me an opportunity and looked at the presentation. When I got started almost 12 years ago, I looked at the opportunity. Guess what? I didn't have the money to get started. I was excited. I mean, he was going through PowerPoint. He was showing all the money you could make, and I was like, man, I'm going to be rich. I was like, man, this is crazy. I've never been to a job interview like this before. That's what I was thinking to myself. I was excited. And when he got to the end, it said $399. I said, oh, well. Like, it sounded good until that part right there. So I was getting ready to make my way out the door at the end of the presentation. I was like, man, I can't do this. I can't afford it. I don't have the money in my bank account. I didn't have any money on my credit card. So I was about to leave. And the guy came up to me and said, Rico, so I saw you was excited during the presentation. You ready to get started? I said, nah, not today. He said, why? I said, I got to do my research. And he said, you got to do your research? He said, what you got to research? I was like, well, I got to research that. And he said, man, just be honest. Tell the truth. Is a $399 a problem for you to get started? I said, man, you got to be honest. I don't have the money. He said, man, ask you a question, Rico. How old are you? And I said, I'm 20 years old. He said, you're 20 years old? He said, do you have a job? I said, yes, sir, I got a job. He said, you're 20 years old with a job, and you don't have $400? How are you making it? He said it just like that. Now, for a second, my ego that was on the inside of me was like, who he talking to? You don't know me. Right? Right? But then I thought about it, and you know what? He's right. I'm 20 years old, I have a full-time job, and I don't have $400? He said, Rico, look, I don't know what you're going to do. He said, but if you want to be successful, he said, most people make excuses, Rico, but successful people, they make a way.
That's right.
Say, I don't know what you're going to do, but the bottom line is you need to be the first person signed. Then he walked away. So at that point, I was faced with a decision. I'm like, man, what am I going to do? Because, you know, I didn't want to be broke no more. I was like embarrassed. When he said like 20 years old, got a job, I don't even have $400. I need to change this. So I took out my wallet, got a chair, went back and I got another chair, pulled that chair up, and I opened it up and I took out my credit cards, okay? And I started pulling out all my credit cards and flipping them over on the chair in front of me. Anybody know why I was flipping over the cards? Well, no, I knew how much I had on them. All of them maxed out. I had 10 credit cards, 20 years old. All of them maxed out. I was flipping them over because I was going to call a number on the back to see if they would increase my limit. Okay? Now remember how much I told you it was to get involved in opportunities? How much? $399, right? Well, I was calling to get $500. I was trying to see if they could increase my limit to $500. Because I was going to pay the $399 and I was going to take the other $100 and go celebrate with one of my friends. Which wasn't a good idea. I didn't have financial education back then. So anyway, I kept calling every credit card. Number after number after number, denied, they wouldn't do it. I finally got to the last credit card, Citibank credit card, and they said they would not give me the $500, but what they would do was approve the charge I was trying to make for $399. And that one decision that night dramatically transformed the rest of my life. Because I made a way instead of making an excuse. So I want you to think about that. See, because if I would have did anything different than making that decision at that point, where would I be right now? Where would I be? I would still be broke. I would still be living paycheck to paycheck. And so you got to understand, guys, I'm not saying money is everything, but I'm also trying to tell you that being broke ain't everything either. Right. So I'm here to tell you that each and every one of us, I believe, have the opportunity to live the lifestyle of our dreams.
That's right.
Now notice I said our dreams. Your dreams may be different than my dream, but at least you can have whatever dream you want. But the bottom line is we have to start somewhere. So tonight I'm encouraging each and every one of you to start your journey, just like I did almost 12 years ago. And in starting that journey here tonight, I look forward to spending the rest of the weekend with you to help you reach all of your dreams and all of your goals. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock.